skate day!
It's time for skate date. We are here. It is our podcast. Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I am probably Rebel have the meat sweats right now. One, because Rebel started eating meat again, which means I finally got to partake in some Korean barbecue.
Yes, there's a long story behind that I will tell you some other time.
But anyways, welcome to Skate Date.
Yeah, Skate Date is a podcast that we started because we, like many other people, didn't have enough going on during the pandemic and thought we should give our opinions to the world.
Which, ironically, we actually did have a lot of stuff going on, but like a lot of people, we were losing our minds and said, let's add more to our plates. And created Skate Date because... What? We're two roller skaters in love and stuff?
Yeah, and we just want to talk a little bit about the real world outside of roller skating and the wheel world, which has roller skating.
Does it?
I mean, yeah. It's the entire premise of the wheel world.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm Shove.
And I'm Rebel.
And together we are...
Shovel.
Can you dig it?
I can.
I can't.
Yes, you can. Get out of here. So today we are going to talk about inspiration. What is it? Where do we get our inspiration to create things?
I had inspiration once and then I lost it.
We're hoping that through this podcast episode she'll find it again.
I figure if you talk about it enough, it'll be like, aha, an idea. I am now inspired.
Got it. Yeah, so Shove mentioned that we went to Korean barbecue, and that was the first time, it's only the second time in my life that I've ever been to Korean barbecue, and it was pretty intense, and then we went and got ice cream afterwards, and now I feel like a really big roly-poly.
Yeah, like, I just want to sleep. I have a case of the itis right now, and for people that don't know, the itis is like, when you eat so much and you just need to sleep afterwards, you gotta, like, sleep it off. It's like real right now. Like my eyes are half open and no, it's not because I'm high again. It's because I ate too much meat.
I literally feel like I should run around in a circle just to like not feel lethargic anymore.
Sorry, all of our vegetarian and vegan people. We still love you.
Yeah.
Also, in the wheel world, we're going to talk about how we finally went on a group skate and go over some of the things about, like, skating in the street and how Rebel likes to yell at me in front of all my friends, like, if I don't know what I'm doing, because apparently I'm a daredevil.
Literally, she skated... Anyways, you'll find out.
Stay tuned to find out why.
You'll find out why.
I'm still bitter.
I'm also still bitter. So, okay.
But yeah, so, you know, we used to do fake ads, and then we had a couple of ads for people that were so amazing to, like, actually pay us. I know, crazy, right? And now we're like, wait, we have businesses, and we have new products, so we should, obviously, we're vain because we have a podcast, and a YouTube, and Instagram. So we want to talk about our own products.
Until someone else comes in and they're like, we're sick of listening to your products. Talk about ours.
Exactly. So... This is a Fat Femme Fatale ad.
Wow, that was beautiful. I loved that.
So, if you follow me on Instagram, which it would be kind of weird if you didn't and you listen to the podcast, but just in case you don't, Fat Girl Has Moxie here. And, yeah, like, back when the whole Nike thing happened and all the bullying, one of the comments... so cute, said, like, the thing was called Roll Out, right? So they're, like, more like rolling with rolls. And all I could think was like, wow, that's freaking cute.
So cute.
So cute. And then someone was like, man, I'd wear a t-shirt that says that. And I said, I'm going to make one.
Yes.
So I did. And not just a t-shirt. I put it on a coffee mug, which is not my job. And I use it as a kombucha cup because Bougie Moxie made a deal with someone else in the shopping center. And now we have kombucha on tap.
Amazing.
Living my bougie life. Anyways, so I also put it on a shirt.
Yes.
So the black one didn't come out the way I wanted. I was really smart this time and I got samples first. But I'm holding up a beige one and you'll see it. And if you're listening to this right now, it will all be up on my shop.
If you're listening to this, let me give you a little description of the image. So the image is a lavender circle in the background with a lime green triangle upside down on top of the lavender circle.
Oh my god.
On the left-hand side, it says "Rollin' with Rolls" in pink writing.
Donut lettering.
Donut lettering with sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fat femme, sitting down in a cross-legged but sexy position.
With
wearing
Clementine Moxies
Moxies and a blue bikini.
With the rolls out.
Rolls out. And orange-yellow hair.
They're a ginger.
And they also have beautiful stretch marks.
Yes.
And behind them, what is behind the femme?
A giant concha, which one of my Canadian followers said, I didn't know what that was, so I thought it was a brain with a tumor. And I was like, I'm not even offended because that's so hilarious. She was like, what is? And then she kept saying, concha, and I was like, it's a concha, it's sweetbread, it's like, I'm in SoCal, so it's very typical out here.
Does concha sound like it could be the word for a pussy?
I think conch is like the piercing down there.
Oh, right? Is it? I don't know. Is it conch also a shell?
Yes, I think so.
Anyway, so on the concha.
So then there's a comic bubble with the femme saying, welcome to the bakery. Choke on my rolls.
Yeah.
And then the front of the shirt just says Fat Femme Fatale in the corner, like most of my products. So that'll be up. And then I also got stickers, because of course, we love some stickers. And it has the same image on it. And they're 5x4, so it's a huge sticker. And they do last on your car, so sun, rain, it does it all. And the thing I'm most excited about, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it.
I know, I feel like I wish I had a drum roll sound effect for this. Oh my god.
Like, I opened it and I was like, oh, yes. So you ever think, like, I just need a skate bag, but I need a cute skate bag. And, like, I'm not a duffel bag type of person. I can't afford a $500 or a $400 like Moxie over-the-shoulder boulder bag.
You know what? I was just thinking I need a new bag for Derby, so maybe I should get one.
Oh, yeah. Are you a tote bag hoe? Because I'm a tote bag hoe. I can go grocery shopping now.
Tote hoe?
A tote hoe? I got this huge tote bag.
Oh my god, it literally, I could sit in it.
Yes, and it fits your skates and all your gear.
It's so cute.
It's amazing. It has a huge image of the design we were just describing on one side. On the back, in huge pink letters, it says Fat Femme Fatale. And there's more.
There's more.
There's a decent sized pocket on the inside that has a little hole pocket so your things aren't going to fall out. That's where you could put your keys. You could put bearings, your tools, whatever you need. It's literally in there. It has my logo on it, the Fat Femme Fatale logo. It also says From Shove with Love, which is my sign off on all my thank you cards. And that's my new collection.
Yeah. What's the collection called, babe?
Rollin' with Rolls.
Love it. Very cool. So if you wanted to shop that collection, you could look at fatfemmefatale.com.
Yee.
Yee.
Let's jump on in.
Where are you jumping, might you ask? Well, it's the real world. What do we do in the real world, babe?
Question reality.
Or we just talk about everything that's not skating. I mean, even sometimes we talk about skating, but really we're talking about, like, current events or just, like, random topics that we want to talk about.
It's like things that are going on in, like,
the real world.
No, like, let's say you're not a roller skater and you're like, okay, there's things other than skating going on. This is what we're going to talk about. Like, things that maybe sometimes it's skate adjacent, but like these are things that like it doesn't matter if you skate or not, you're gonna relate to.
Like if you're on a skate date, maybe you would talk about this.
Yes, exactly. Or like, you know, sometimes you ever get tired, especially because for some reason when you're a roller skater, all the people you know are now roller skaters, and you're like, I don't want to just skate. I don't want to talk about just skating. Like I'm a real person with other hobbies, other feelings, other thoughts, other ideas. That's our time to like be like, let's take a moment and have a real talk about this.
In the real world.
Exactly.
So today we're going to be talking about inspiration. So before we start actually talking about like how we get inspired or what we do to get that inspiration when we need it, what would you say that inspiration is? Like for a person who doesn't really know how to quantify it.
When you're inspired.
Oh my god, without using the word. You can't use the word in the definition.
Obviously. When you get like that spark, it's like weird. It's like you're like la 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 sitting in there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, light bulb moment. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to create this. People want this. I can make it. I'm gonna do it.
yeah, that's really it. It's like that moment when something clicks, and then it's in your head. The clicking is in your head. And then the clicking means that you are going to take action. You're like pushed forward into action. It's like a burst of energy and focus towards some specific thing.
That's what happened with my Doja Fat shirt. I was literally in the warehouse, at the Moxie warehouse, and I was like packing orders. And I was like, yeah, packing orders. Here go your bearings. Here go your wheels. Here go your skates. And then all of a sudden I was like, Doja Fat. That amazing picture I had on a poster. That should be on a t-shirt. I think I was like packing a t-shirt actually. And then I was like, why haven't I put a photograph on a shirt yet? Like instead of my artwork. Oh my god, that'll do amazing. And guess what? It's my bestseller. Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you felt something. You were like, this is what the people are going to want. And you did it.
Yeah, I literally texted you and Jesse like right away.
Amazing. Yeah, no, I remember getting that text and thinking, this is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
But not all inspirational ideas are great.
No, yeah, I am a good example of that. So I would say I get inspired to do lots and lots and lots and lots of things. And,
oh, do you?
Maybe part of it is my ADHD. And not all of those ideas are good. In fact, I would say maybe 75% of the ideas that I have are not good. But I have so many ideas that 25% can totally carry me. But yeah, so I have a really great inspiration ideas. Cooking, I get really inspired.
Don't eat our cooking.
To like make random food. I also just get inspired to do like crafts and like to edit things, and then it turns so bad, and most of the time it's like too much. Like I see this vision in my head and then it plays out and I'm like, oh, that was not good. But yeah, I feel like that's not really
that just started going depressive.
Yeah, that's not really what we want to talk about right now though. So
anyways, let's wrap it back up. You're going through something, babe. You just started spinning out and you were like, this plane is going south real quick.
Yeah. I feel like that's not really what we're talking about when it comes to inspiration. But
definitely I feel like there's like you have a lot of ideas and you're constantly like cranking them out and making things. And I think what scares me about that is like, I don't, like, you have income from your creative things. Like, you have YouTube, and that's, like, gives you a little bit of a cushion to take the chance because it's, like, a revolving door. Like, even though you're not making that much money, you're able to, like, what's coming in, and then you put out, and then you get, like, a little bit back. So it's, like, kind of cool to be able to, like, bet on yourself and those things that you're inspired to do. For me, like, there's things that I'm like, oh, I should do this, but I get worried because I'm like, ooh, like, am I gonna have to put money into this? Or like, is it like, I feel like I try to put limits on myself because I'm like afraid to bet on myself because I don't have too much stream of income from like creative things already. So it's like I get a little nervous. Like even when it's like large sticker orders or thank you cards, I'm like, oh my god, it's too much money, and I'm sure you feel like that too. But it's just like I get nervous. So like how do you get over that fear of like the financial part of backing that inspiration to create something?
God, that is a really good question. I mean, if you think about it, what I've been building for the last 2 years. You know, like I've been building it since I started my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I continued in my regular job despite making a little bit of money from YouTube, and just committed to that being like not my money. Like I literally pretend like the money I make from YouTube is not my money and it just belongs to my business. Like that my business is an entity of its own. That's why I created a separate bank account. That's why I did all of these things, because I wanted it to feel like it was like a child, you know, that nurtured itself. And like if I didn't have the money coming in from that business, I couldn't spend it on the business. But I also right now don't really pay myself. So I'm lucky enough to have like teaching jobs that pay my bills, so I don't have to take from my creative business in order to pay myself. But I do think that what you're saying still applies. So that was just like foundational work for my answer to this question. So I've taken a few risks financially for my business that did not pan out and have not panned out.
Nailed it.
Example A is my Nailed It earrings. I love those earrings. They are big acrylic earrings that say Nailed It on them. First off, that style of earrings, like very few people wear. Very few. And then the amount of people that know that I use the phrase nailed it a lot in my YouTube is an even smaller segment of people.
They're like the Netflix special?
Yeah, and the overlap between those two groups of people is so minimal that like I've barely sold any of them. They were my most expensive earrings that I have purchased so far. And this has absolutely nothing to do with the person who made them for me. This was 100% my idea and my inspiration that I was super stoked about. And it just has not, like, I have still not paid off the amount that I paid for these earrings. Like, just, I haven't, they are a negative. They are in the red.
But it was a great idea.
But it was a great idea. But, like, it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't work out. But because of that, I am now in relationship with someone who creates a lot of my products for my shop, and we've had many, many wins. And
can I butt in?
Yeah.
I think what's more important, well, nothing's more important than like, create a friend, but I think like the real lesson I should say from that was learning like, you're gonna have really good ideas and you're gonna follow through with them and you might fail, but what's great is when that happened, Rebel realized, oh, not everyone likes giant jewelry. That's like me and like my girlfriend, we're extra AF. Like what you realize was like, oh, smaller and cuter, like people do like skate stuff, and you realize it made you take the next step of like, I need to create what other people like, not what I like. And that would have never happened if you wouldn't have failed at that first one.
Yeah, and I do think that was such an incredibly valuable lesson that I learned. Yeah, I have, a few things like that I'm like, oh, I really thought that this would sell really well, and it just hasn't. And
oh my god. You know what's interesting though? Like,
what?
Okay, so I'm an artist. So like with Rebel, she designs things in her imagination and then like
I hire people
and they create it. Whether they're an artist or a crafter, a designer, whatever, like they do it. And it's like her ideas because she's talented at other things, not necessarily like drawing or like patch making and things like that. But she's lucky enough to have people that can do all these things. And for me, I'm the actual artist. So when I create something, it's like something that I put like hours into. Like first it's just thinking about it, then it's the drawing and everything, and then I print them. And like I print at home myself, but it's like I'm doing all this stuff and then like packing each one, signing each one, and then when they don't sell, when it's not a winner, it's like, oh, much. Because it's not just like, oh, that was a bad idea. It was like, oh, that was something I put hours of my personal time and like creation and my own talent into. And it's just like, it's like, dang, like I really thought, like same thing like you, like, oh, I thought this was going to sell. And then it doesn't. And you're like,
I would say that I understand that feeling though, just to a lesser degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, for example, like a lot of the rainbow skate earrings, they haven't sold yet. And I'm thinking that's just because they sell better in person and I haven't done a good job advertising them, whatever. But that's something that like I love and I'm so proud of. And I'm like, am I totally off base? And like, I get totally freaked out and insecure that like my vision isn't what other people like. And so I know it's like very different from like drawing it out, but it's like the same. I think it's the same vein. Like I feel like bad, like, oh, I suck and nobody likes the things that I am making. And I totally have imposter syndrome from it a lot of times, especially, and I think it's especially because I can't draw or anything. So the fact that I like hire other people to like make my ideas come to life, I feel major imposter syndrome. Like, oh, my whole shop is like nothing that has to do with me. Like I totally feel that.
Another thing about like going back onto like inspiration is a lot of times like I want to create something, but without inspiration you can't. Or I am like inspired, like, oh, I should do ABC, and then I sit down, put some music on, and I'm like, let's get to creating, and then it's like radio. It's like hear birds chirping in the background and a cricket, and you're like, like I'll tell Rebel, like, I'm gonna go to the garage and draw, and I'll sit out here for 5 hours before I actually start drawing, and then it's another 3 hours of me drawing. But it's like, how do I keep that inspiration going? Like that's the real question. Like, cool, I got this inspiration, great, but I feel like if I can't do it right then in that moment when inspiration strikes, a lot of times it just goes away until like one day, like weeks, months, days, I don't know, like sometimes it goes a long time and then I finally create it.
I feel that way about YouTube videos. I will have days where I'm like so stoked on all of the things YouTube and like just so inspired and like have a million ideas. And then there are other days when I'm just like, we have to record something today and I ain't got shit. Like I don't have anything inside of me to be inspired to be interesting. I hate all of the ideas that I came up with last week when I was super inspired. And you know, like if you're not inspired to make the video, like it's very apparent when you record the video, you know, it's like, what is she doing? And so in order to make a good video, like I have to make things that I'm inspired by or interested in. And it is weird being like trying to force that inspiration, because I definitely do try and force it, and sometimes I just have to like dig deeper and deeper and deeper until I actually find something that I'm like, okay, yeah, that. And so sometimes I just have to like, I have a really long list of ideas and sometimes I just have to run through them like all and then brainstorm and then be like, okay, do any of these spark anything in me? And then try and use that little spark and like take it.
I've had a manic episode where I was inspired to do a bunch of Halloween designs, and I did 4 drawings within 3 days, I believe, which I probably got within those 3 nights, maybe altogether like 10 hours of sleep. Like it was crazy. Like I was staying up super late drawing, just like knocking them out. Like I had never drawn that many pieces that were actually like really good. Like the witch one was my least favorite, but like people liked it. But like these were all detailed or really great, amazing drawings, if I say so myself.
Yeah, no, they were really good.
But they were drawn out of like straight up bipolar manic episode. Like no sleep, just like boom, 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 like knocking them out. And then ended with like, what's a typical thing? Spending too much money. I spent like I spent way too much money on like hundreds of stickers. And yeah, like most of them sold, but I remember just being like, what did you just do? but like, and being so tired afterwards, but looking back at them, like, even when I look at them now, I'm like, that's some of your best work you did. Cause like, I was so inspired to create that many things and I was able to knock it out right in a row.
Yeah. I get that like hyper focus kind of a thing, but I am kind of toned down in my hyper focus because my hyper focus comes from ADHD. But I can only do that when I don't have other things distracting me. So like, for me, like work has been a real grounder, and I don't know if that's like a good thing that like limits me from just going like flying off into nowhere land and just being like so obsessed with like making videos and creating things and, you know, pouring my heart and soul into my shop, or whether it's, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but that definitely for me is what like stops me from going off into La La Land.
Yeah, I mean, inspiration, you know, it comes and goes. It's never guaranteed. It's hard when you're a creative person, especially if you own a business or you're running a YouTube or you're just a content creator. You need that inspiration to keep going. You need that inspiration to pay the bills, like, and sometimes it sucks because like the more we want it, the more fleeting it can be. And I don't know, it's just like we gotta not stress out. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, I need a good idea right now, because it'll just never come. Sometimes I feel like the best ideas come when you're literally doing something that has nothing to do with what you need inspiration for. Go on a skate, go on a walk, like go sit in your backyard on a sunny day, like do something nice. It'll come eventually.
Yeah, I guess. What's your best? Is that your best advice for like getting inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, my best advice is like getting out a piece of paper or a notepad or an iPad or your phone and just writing out everything that's in your head, idea wise. I started doing this thing at the beginning of the year and then I stopped it because my therapist was like, you're stressing yourself out. But I started doing this thing where every day I would write down 10 ideas. And it could be an idea about anything. Like, it literally, one of the ideas was like an idea for like a thing to do for my birthday, or like it would be ideas for my business or ideas for how to be a really good girlfriend, or just like random ideas. And I would just write 10 of them down every single day. And then it started to stress me out. But in that time that I was writing down ideas, like I actually came up with some pretty cool ideas. And so I think that there is something to like, you know, whenever you have an idea and it's just like, and then like a second later you forget it. Like whenever you have that like, moment, like write it down.
But I also feel like, 10 is too much. Like, just be like, pull a notebook out and be like, write an idea for the day. Like, why does it have to be 10?
I don't know.
You're too much, Gene. Anyways, can we jump on over to the Will World now?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm inspired to move to the next segment.
Okay.
The Will World.
Wheels.
What?
Wheelie shoes.
What did we do on Saturday?
We went on a skate through downtown Long Beach.
Yeah, so I was at work and really on in the week because like I just feel like we're always busy. Like, people are always busy, so I try to make plans like ahead. Because I feel like when I wait last minute, it always falls through, like something comes up.
So true.
So I was at work and I was talking to Evelyn Ivy, a lot of y'all know her, and I was like, yo, like, we should go on a skate. Like, you've lived in Long Beach for months, but it's during the pandemic, you don't know where anything is. Like, we should go on a street skate and I'll show you some spots. Like, a lot of things are closed, but at least like you'll know the neighborhood and things. And she was like, that's cool. And then Sagan was another room. She's like, I want to go to a skate adventure. And we're like, well, the more the merrier. You should come. And then we ended up having our friend Alex go. So it was a pretty cool group. It was pretty awesome. Rip Shane, he couldn't go because his COVID shot had him still feeling bad, but it was still a good group, and we had some good tunes, and the adventure was pretty fun. So on Saturday, we all met up at Evelyn's house, and we skated the streets of Long Beach just like we used to do.
It was really fun. I really liked it.
We hadn't skated in a group of people since a protest last July.
June? Yeah, June or July. Yeah, and I hadn't skated a far distance like that since I broke my leg, so I was nervous about that too.
Yeah, and Rebel did really good because I thought like, oh, she'll probably have to tap out. Like she even had a plan before. She was like, hey, if like something happens, I feel like I can't do it, I'll just go into a coffee shop and y'all just keep skating. But she held up, and it was probably about a 6-mile skate, so it was really good.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. And it wasn't like super, super painful or anything either, which I was surprised by.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is I've gone skating at the beach a couple times over the pandemic, and I noticed like so many roller skaters on the beach path.
There's so many skaters on the beach path now. It's insane.
So many. But then you go literally 1 block away.
Into the streets.
Not a single roller skater.
Crickets. No roller skaters
Not
anywhere.
A single one. It's
so
just like,
wild.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, like it used to be like the skaters were in the streets. Like, yeah, the beach path was so boring. It's like, how many times can you skate the beach path in Long Beach, you know?
Yeah.
So like the streets, like that's what we usually skated, like to get like anywhere. Like the reason we go to the beach is because we wanted to bomb the hill.
Yeah.
Or it was like a rollout. Like the beach is cool sometimes, but like it gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
And I like the adrenaline rush of like, I don't know, there's like cars, there's dogs, there's like people, there's like so much going on, and I feel like part of the city, and I like to skate in the street. I'm like, fuck the sidewalk. Like I skate in the street, and I feel like it's funny. I think like next time we need to do it, like get a video where we're actually in the streets. Cause like I posted one like literally in a small neighborhood on a small neighborhood street, and people were like, "Oh my god, you're skating in the street!" And I was like, "This is nothing.
This is nothing. No,
like,
we skated in the street.
Yeah,
in the street.
I play Frogger between cars. Like I dive, I skate in the bike lane. Like
you also have gotten more reckless. You didn't used to be that reckless. Like,
really? Remember RollerCon?
No, but that was a one-off. And now I feel like it's every time we skate, you're doing something.
I think you're just more
reckless.
Scared because you forgot and the pandemic has traumatized you.
I don't know, maybe.
Because nothing's changed. It's just like how you have to pay attention to the velocity.
I literally almost died because of Shove at RollerCon 2 years ago.
Because she chose to follow me when the other girl that followed me, we obviously knew what we were doing because we were skating the same way, and I didn't know Rebel followed me into the street. And
because I like skating the street more than the sidewalk, because I'm faster than the people on the sidewalk.
So, like, I went into the street, but then cars were coming by. So, like, I know how to, I didn't, me and the other girl looked, and then we just jetted it across.
And I thought it was safe, because usually Shove makes it safe for me.
But since I didn't know she was behind me, I couldn't tell her when to go.
And a car literally almost ran into me.
So this moral of the story is be a very observant and experienced skater to skate in the streets.
It definitely was not a place where you were supposed to cross the street. It was just like a random street in
also,
Vegas.
I'm going to let y'all know, it is illegal to skate in the streets. Everywhere except for the most part, except for Texas. I know there's some spots in Texas where Texas roller derby band together, and a group of them like got the city to agree that roller skaters are trafficked just like bicycles. And I have a huge issue that we're not allowed to skate, but people can be on their bikes.
Yeah, because like we literally skate faster than bikes. A lot of times.
And we abide the same laws.
Yeah, like I stop at stop signs.
Yeah.
For the most part. Don't come at me if you watch my lives and I don't stop at stop signs.
Yeah, but Rebel yelled at me because it's funny because I don't think you saw at the time that literally that was the bike path. So she thought I was skating straight towards the car, but I was going in between two because I saw that one was turning.
Let me
tell the story, babe.
No.
And one was going to go straight. So I could see like from your point of view how it looked like, oh my gosh, you're going to get hit. But like, I'm really good at observing and making eye contact with people and being like, okay, they're going that way.
I am not saying you weren't skating in the bike lane. I know you were skating in the bike lane. What I was saying was that the person that was turning right was going too fast and you skated right in front of them. That's what I was saying. They weren't going to stop because they had a green light.
Uh-huh.
That's why.
Yeah, and I gave him room. But it's just like when you skate like around crowds of people and you're like really close and then you circle around them.
Except that people don't kill you, cars do.
OMG.
I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is that's how I get my kicks on Route 66.
Okay, well, we were already going the wrong way on the street, and then we did that. That is why. I am all for risks and, like, not following the rules, but I'm not for not following the rules when it causes you to almost die from a car accident, a car hitting a human.
So real quick, we're going to tell you our first stories of how we got into street skating. For me, I was new to derby. My friend that got me to start derby with her, she made friends real quick with the cool girls. The badass girls, Sugar, Goddamn, and them. So I think it was Froggy. So like it was, we had.
That's
like,
so funny. I never saw them as like the cool girls
because they were like the bad girls. Like they were the ones that would tell you to fuck off. They knew all the gossip. Like they were very cliquey. Like Sugar was like the hot girl. She was like the pretty derby Barbie, you know. And then Goddamn is like terrifying. She's little but terrifying, but also the sweetest person you'll ever meet. So, anyways, like it was me.
Goddamn.
Yeah, it was me and Honey, Goddamn, and Sugar, and I think a couple people met us up to skate to oh my gosh, Shannon. No.
Shenanigans?
No. It's a place on 2nd Street. Oh, Panama. So we skated to Panama Joe's, and then it was stupid because then Panama Joe's wouldn't let us in with our skates. Stupid. And I remember Goddamn being all pissed, like, well, whose idea was it to meet here if we can't have our skates in, blah, blah, blah. And it was like a whole thing. They ended up letting us in on the patio, but then I was like, oh my god, these girls are so mean. Like, I feel so awkward. I'm just here with Honey. And some people left, but then it got dark, and I had a couple drinks. Like, we went to a bar, whatever. And so, all of a sudden, like, I'm thinking we're going to take the beach path back, and, like, I'm still, like, a newish skater. My friend Honey had skated for a while, and... oh my god. So then they're like, okay, let's street skate back. And I was like, wait, we're not taking the beach path? And at that moment, you know when you have that moment, it's like, I'm either going to be the loser or the cool kid. Like, this is your chance. Do you puss out and just say, no, I'm going to skate the beach path? Or you look at the cool people that have been skating and look like badasses in roller derby and just be like, okay, I'll do that. So I just went ahead and followed them up a giant hill, ended up toe stop walking because I didn't know how to skate uphill yet, and then like we're diving, it's nighttime, like I cannot see like what's going on. I'm just breathing hard, trying to follow them, have no endurance yet, and we're just like going and going, and at one point like I just slam into a hole. My knee is so bloody because I just had like a skirt and a shirt on, and I'm like blood running into my skater sock. And I just popped up and we keep going. They're like, oh yeah, you're fine. And then we just keep skating. At this point, I'm like, I'm in so much pain. My knee hurts so bad. And we're skating in the middle of the street on 4th Street. And they're hustling. And I'm like, just keep going. You hang out with them. And they're just diving into places. And I think this is why I skate the way I am. Because this is like how I started. And like just following them and like seeing how they skated. And they'd be like, just stay in the middle. It's safer this way. Those sidewalks suck. You don't want a car to sideswap you because there's a lot of bars here. So just go in the middle. It's the safest lane.
I love skating in the middle on 4th Street.
And then a cop like made his lights come on. He was like, get off the street. That's why I found out it's illegal. We jump on the sidewalk where we almost all ate shit again. I didn't know how to stop very strongly. So I almost like knocked Goddamn over and she snapped on me. But she was like, you get one time and almost knock me over and then that's it. And I was like, huh. I was like, you're a third my size and I'm afraid of you. But anyways, so we get all the way to the street where my car's parked finally. And they're like, oh, you want to come to the bar with us? Like another bar? And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I have to go home, but thanks so much. Blah, blah. Thanks for my first street skate. And then they're like, what do you mean your first street skate? And I was like, I've never skated in the streets before. And they're like, what? You're such a badass. Like, that was your first street skate. You have a bloody knee. You've never skated in the street before. You didn't even say a single thing. You just, like, we went uphill. Like, they were like, hell yeah, you're a badass. And I was like, at that moment, I was like, yes, you made the right choice. And then they skated away. And literally, I started skating. I went halfway down the block. I sat on the curb. I took my skates off. And I walked. I limped all the way back to my car. And I looked back like, I hope they don't know.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, I can't skate anymore. I need to go to my car. And I got home and Owen Sugar was like, take a picture and you better post that in the derby thing. Like, because that's badass. Like, you should be proud. And that's how I learned, like, you should be proud of your, like, road rash. And, like, every time you hurt yourself skating, like, it's not to cry, like, to be proud of it.
Mm-hmm. That's such a badass story. I wish I had something that cool. I don't. My first time ever street skating was for, I don't know if this even counts, but I guess it does. My first time street skating was in San Pedro for like a rollout for Derby. And so there's like a bunch of hills and stuff, and we like would go skate out on random nights that they had like lots of people there, and we would hand out flyers for our derby bouts. Mm-hmm. And so there would be like a group of the people who are derby skaters, and we'd all like skate together in a group, and so it was so awesome. And I was wearing my first derby skates, and I just remember wearing like my hybrid wheels, like my oh god, what are they called? The poison wheels.
Oh god, I hate those.
With my Rock 5 skates. Ew. And my knee pads, my derby knee pads. And I was just skating around, and I was like, this is so fun. I felt so cool, and like all the derby girls were like, this is where we show off. So you would like skate, and then you would turn around really fast, like in front of people, and like kind of scare them, but like be like so cool. But yeah, so you would just like, all of the people would just like turn around or like do something really cool and just kind of like show off, and then hand out like a flyer, and then we're like, come to our derby match, like we're so intense or whatever. And so I think that's why like I definitely tend to like, whereas she like plays with her own life, I play with other people's lives. Like when I'm street skating, I get dangerously close to like other humans. I shouldn't, but I do. Like, I'll be honest, I just do. It's the jammer in me, and it's the like derby show off in me. And so, yeah. So that was my first experience doing any sort of street skating, but that was just like derby street skating, which I feel like is different. And then just did like beach path stuff. But then when I started dating her, like a year into me playing derby, when I was feeling confident with like stopping and like all that kind of stuff, Shove was kind of like, yo, I like skating outside. Do you want to skate outside? And I was like, obviously I want to skate outside. I had no idea. And then, yeah, so we went on a little date skating outside. And that was the first time me like skating the streets, not like with the purpose of handing out flyers. And we got a breakfast at the library, and I promptly...
Breakfast to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, I tripped on my own skates or on a crack or something, and then I spilled my entire chai and my breakfast sandwich everywhere.
And she just laid there, and I took a picture of her.
And now here we are. Yeah.
10 minutes from the house.
Yeah, I was very... And I still, every once in a while, I think about a bagel with the scrambled eggs on it, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think, like, I went through, like, boot camp my first skates, and I think that got me through it, and then, like, me and Honey used to skate around Long Beach all the time, and I quickly realized, like, I just hated sidewalks. Like, I felt like a lot of them were janky in our city. I didn't like the cracks. Like, I just felt like it was smoother in the street. The cars passing never scared me. Sometimes cars are, like, total assholes, and they'll, like, speed up and go right next to you. Or people will literally just go slow and you're like, just go by. But it's because they're watching you or they're like literally recording you, which is weird.
It's weird.
But people are just like, oh my God, roller skaters. But
Yeah.
I like to just like own the street and I still abide the traffic laws. Like I still make sure there's enough room for them. I don't do anything that a bicycle wouldn't do.
I definitely feel like when I'm on side streets, I'm like, this is my street. And then when I'm on main streets, I'm like, I still can be here, so leave me alone.
Yeah, unless it's like a big major street where people like definitely speed, then I'll like force myself to go on the sidewalks. I would say like when you're skating in a group specifically, like make sure you're calling out what's coming because a lot of times there's stuff and debris in the ground, potholes, if there's broken glass, anything, pebbles, seeds, like you yell it out and the next person can hear it. You want to also like stick together or like if you know it's like a rough patch, like speed it up, skate fast so you're not like in a dangerous spot for too long. If you're skating at nighttime, have like a flashlight, wear bright clothing. Just be aware of your surroundings. Don't skate with headphones in if you're going to be in the streets for sure because you really want to know what's going on. So then get a speaker. They make really good, like, what is it called? J-clip?
The JBL clip. Those are great.
Those are the best speakers. You can clip them right onto your belt loop or your fanny pack and, like, have some good jams.
And they're loud, too.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm street skating, it's when I skate the longest. Because I think at the beach, like, because I'm like, oh, okay, beach.
Well, it looks the same all the time, yeah.
But when I'm, like, fighting traffic and skating over railroad tracks and like seeing murals and like, and it's an adventure and it's zigzagging through the neighborhoods. Like, I feel like, oh, I've been skating for an hour straight. Like I haven't sat down in 2 hours. Like what?
Yeah, I think same.
But also
I love street skating.
Make sure you have some good wheels, and that is when you do want like decent bearings because especially for distance skating, you want to be able to roll for a while instead of having to like put so much energy in it.
I do really quickly want to differentiate for you the difference between what we're talking about and like hardcore street skating.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're talking about is like cruising in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when people are talking about street skating, they're talking about like aggressive street skating, like using different obstacles on the street as things to do tricks off of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. But don't be afraid to try something new.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I know we're going to send a bunch of new skaters out into the streets and it's going to be havoc.
Good luck. All right, let's go to Find Your Skate Date.
Find your skate date. Is that what we're doing? Yeah.
Yep.
Find your skate date. Find your skate date. It is the land of skaters that are just looking for their little skate date friend, whether it's platonic or romantic. So they write into us with their little bio. You can too, to tell us what they're looking for and what kind of skater they are, what kind of person they are, and if they could be someone you could go on a skate date with.
And the skate date could be romantic or it could be platonic.
Who should they email?
They should email dearskatedate@gmail.com. Tell us your name, your Instagram handle, your pronouns, and a little bit about you, what you're looking for in a skate date.
All right, so let's jump on in.
Our skate date today is
Porschia. Porschia says, "Hi Shove, hi Rebel. Hope you are doing as well as can..." Sorry, the mic was like making it do that weird split thing. "Hi Shove, hi Rebel. Hope you are doing as well as can be possible in the middle of this Panasonic. Thanks for all your great work in the roller skating / body positivity space, including this podcast. My name is Porschia, like the car. My pronouns are she, her. I live in Detroit proper..." Oh, is that a thing? Okay. I was like...
Yeah, Detroit proper.
Oh, wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay. I live in Detroit proper, and I'm looking for a skate friend. I mainly skate outside, would love to do more rink skating, but I get a bit intimidated because everyone at the rink is really good. Yup. And I'm struggling to skate backwards, LOL. So if you rink skate and would... So if you rink skate, that would be awesome. I mainly skate in the summer because, Michigan, lol, and so I'm just now starting back again. I'm looking for a skate mom, a skate mentor, if you will, a friend who will not laugh at me, but with me as I struggle to gain skills and vice versa. I feel as if I am plateauing skating by myself. I am a cat mom and a real mom to 2 boys. I like cartoons and memes and art, and I draw from time to time. I drew a rendition of one of Shev's creations a while back. So yeah, if that interests you, hit me up on my IG at Squirrel and Her Skates, and let's skate the river walk.
Oh, that's so cute and fun. I love that.
That's super cute.
Porschia. So if you are Portia's skate date, hit her up at Squirrel and Her Skates.
Yeah, Detroit rinks. Whew, that's some pro stuff.
Yeah, that is intimidating. I would be intimidated too.
I'd be like, I know I'm an adult, but can I come on like kids lessons?
Yes. So, hit up Porschia, and if you want your skate date read and you want to find a skate date, then email us at dearskatedate@gmail.com. The next segment is Dear Shovel. Dear Shovel is where you write us in with your questions, and we answer your questions in some sort of way. That's pretty much the gist of it. And if you have a question, you just email us at dearskatedate@gmail.com and put Dear Shovel and then ask your question. And it could be totally anonymous. And it could be about anything.
I'm getting pretty old, so I've probably experienced anything that you have a question about.
Oh my gosh.
I've lived a good life and a bad one, if you know what I mean. Okay, so, you want to read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Dear Shovel, love the podcast, so fun and happy. Really relate to the poverty complex episode. Many times during my 20s, I had to choose between food and meds and couldn't even afford tampons, even though I was working and going to grad school. That is so real. Grad students are poor as fuck. Okay. I need advice on something. I have been skating on starter skates that are a little too small for a year, and I love skating so much. I recently got myself new, really nice skates in my favorite color for my 30th birthday. Yes, get those skates for yourself. I'm an elementary art teacher and work super hard, and I'm finally getting stability in my life. I get it. I get you. Okay. Now, because of the poverty complex, I am too afraid to take my new skates out. I'm afraid that I don't deserve something so nice. How do I overcome this fear and enjoy the skates I worked so hard for? Oh, that's so real. Oh my gosh, this hits so close to home for me. Okay, so remember that poverty complex is in your head. It's in your head, not other people's head. So what you're struggling with, other people aren't looking at you and judging that way. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's a very important thing to think about. Yes, baby?
No, just put my arm around
you. I think that's a really, really important thing to think about, is that what's going on is a battle in your own head. And so the battle needs to be fought in your own head. And so one thing that I submit would be a good way to move forward is to remind yourself exactly what you wrote in this email. And I know that that may seem a little redundant, but you literally said in here that you are a hard worker. You're finally getting stability. You've been struggling through your 20s, potentially before that. Like, you've gone through it. Like, you deserve this. Like, you deserve this thing that you work super hard for. Don't fall prey to that world of, like, I just work really hard and I don't get to enjoy my life, like, just because, like, capitalism says, like, fuck that. You work hard. You deserve to enjoy your life and have something nice. You are in your 30s now. It is time to flourish. It is time to enjoy. It is time to delve into those wonderful, beautiful, amazing skates in your favorite color and live your best life. 30, flirty, thriving.
30, flirty, thriving.
Yes.
You heard it here, folks, on Skate Date.
Yes. Do you have anything to add?
I think you said it all. It's really hard, but it's like, man, you had to deal with all the poor shit growing up, and it's like, you deserve it. Like, it was out of your control to grow up that way, and you struggled to get to where you are, and you went without for so long. This is finally it. Like, you struggled so hard to get to this point of your life where you could treat yourself. So treat yourself.
When you have been withheld breath from for so long, and you've struggled to get breath for so long in your life, and when it comes time when you're finally able to inhale completely and exhale freely, it feels wrong to fully breathe because you're used to that struggle. You're used to fighting just for a little bit of air. And you need to let go of that, because even though that guilt is going to creep up there, that guilt is not for you to hold on to.
Oh, that's deep. Mm-hmm. That was really deep, babe.
Thank you.
Wow. You should write a book.
Every once in a while, we have really good advice on Dear Shovel. Sometimes.
Anyways, wear the goddamn skates and have the time of your life.
And take a picture and tag us in it so we know you did it.
Shovel told me on Dear Shovel
if you
to wear my skates, so I did.
If you need to put that as a caption, you put that as a caption. Shovel said, I have to wear these and take this picture, so here it is. And I'll get on there, I'll be like, hell yeah! Literally.
All right. I hope that helped you.
I hope it helped. I feel like
fun in those new skates.
You are going to have a great time.
That actually fit. See, you deserve to not be in pain and have fun.
Yeah, for real.
All right. What are we going to talk about now?
Well, we're going to talk about this little thing that we like to call the 5-star. What did we decide on last week? Did we decide on calling it the 5-star runway?
No. We're going to talk about our Apple 5-star review.
Yeah.
This is where people can go on Apple Podcasts, whether you listen to it or not, and go give us 5 stars and give us a comment.
We love you so much when you do this. This literally makes our whole freaking lives.
One, it lets us know, like, oh, wow, people do like us. Because we don't know. We just, talk at you and hope you like it.
We hope you like it.
It also supposedly does something for, like, podcasts, makes them look like they have some clout, if you may.
Yeah, it makes it look like people listen to us.
Like, it looks like we know what we're doing, because people are actually commenting.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you want to read this?
Yeah, so we just want to give a big shout out to Sammy Girl, but girl with a 3 instead of an I. Woo! Sammy Girl, thank you so much for giving us 5 stars. We are so appreciative. Sammy Girl says,
read the title.
In the title, I can dig it.
Oh my god.
Yes, with
my heart.
A heart emoji, a flower emoji, and a roller skate emoji.
Love it.
Love the Skate Date Pod. I've learned a lot about the current roller skating culture in the U.S. from this show, and have felt more a part of it because of that. I started skating, aside from growing up rollerblading, during quarantine, and wanted to find relatable people with a podcast on the topic of roller skating. Hey, it's us. It's literally us. Okay.
Wow.
These lovely women served, in all caps, me exactly that. Plus some. As a half black, half white person myself, it's been refreshing listening to you guys have open discussions on the complexities of race in America, among other social issues. So important. Thanks for the laughs and informative talks. Congrats to you both on your successes within the wheel world and beyond.
Aww.
Y'all deserve it. Don't stop making the podcast, please. But, like, no pressure. Okay, bye.
Aww.
Sam.
I had my eyes get a little watery.
Oh, they really did.
Wow, that was sweet.
That was really, really sweet, Sam. Thank you so much for that review. We really appreciate it. Anytime you guys give us feedback, we're like, oh, okay, they care. And it really makes our whole lives, and we're just very grateful. And it helps to motivate Shove to get in front of the camera every few days before Wednesday.
Even when I have the meat sweats and the itis, and I have to wake up really early to pack up a lot of skates tomorrow, I am here because, oh God, I guess I do love you all.
Oh my God.
Don't let it go to your head.
Okay, so a little something about our podcast. Our podcast is funded and supported completely and entirely by viewers like you. So if you would like to support our podcast, there is a PayPal link down below in the show notes, both on the YouTube and on any sort of other place that you are playing this podcast. So if you'd like to help financially support us, you can do it that way, or we have skate date patches that you can get from our Etsy, or if you want to... What?
I just think it's so funny that you just casually said our podcast is funded by you, and it's like, since when?
Since right now. I made that up.
I think we don't need to like let people know that. So okay. Because you're probably like, really? We're funding it? No. Here's the thing. We fund this podcast. We are paying the bills to have that little music every month that you hear, that you see her bounce to.
Yeah.
We pay to actually get the podcast out there too. We pay in our time because she edits the sound, which sounds even better than the YouTube, sorry. And I edit the YouTube video. And then we record for usually an hour and a half before editing it down and setting everything up.
And we got all this gear so that we could make this podcast.
Yeah, we got all this gear. So there's a lot that goes into that we paid for, funded by the blood and sweat of ourselves. And even Bowie. We used to have to pimp out Bowie in season 1 for Two Girls One Pot. So even Bowie has
And Bowie,
funded this.
let me tell you something, was not getting paid.
Yes. So that's why we realized, oh, other podcasts are actually asking for donations.
And we can do that? We didn't think we could do that.
Yeah, so that's what Rebel's talking about, just so y'all know, like, wait, when did that happen?
I was kind of meaning, like, it's supported, like, you watch it. Or you listen to it.
Like,
that's what
emotionally, y'all are very supportive.
Very supportive. But yeah, so we were thinking that we would make a little PayPal link. So it's down there for you. We also made our prices a little bit more accessible. So if you would like to have your business be advertised, if you want us to advertise, please shoot us an email. We'll send you our price list. And yeah, that's that.
That's that.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you enjoyed the skate date. We sure did.
Yes. And just a helpful hint, just because all-you-can-eat buffets may be open, like Korean barbecue, doesn't mean you should eat it all.